The mother is literally Jennifer Coolidge. How is that not a comedy? Jennifer Coolidge exclusively plays in comedies because she sounds like that. Welcome to Etc., the podcast where we don't even know what will happen. Every episode we spin a wheel of a few topics, and me and my lovely wife Amanda will figure out what to talk about when we get there. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Etc. podcast where we don't even know what's going to happen. We actually don't know what's going to happen this time, but we do have night coffee. Hers is decaf. I have a problem. We switched microphones again. I think I figured out the audio. It's a learning process.
We keep changing everything.
Well, yeah, we keep changing everything, and I'm also lazy.
Dude.
He gets like this literally anytime I try to do anything. I want you to know that. He only wants affection if I'm busy.
Oh,
because
poor
his little butt.
Stinky baby. My little stink butt.
But I guess it's time to spin a wheel.
Wheel.
So you do have a topic, actually?
I do have a topic.
In case you cannot nudge the microphone, you ass. Uh-oh. So he landed on my topic, and y'all don't know this. Right before the episode started, I was like, I don't know if I have a topic, but I'll have time to think about it before we get there. I didn't have time to think about it. Do I have a topic that I would like to talk about? No. Maybe later. I can't think of anything at the moment. We spin again. Bated breath. You said you have a topic. What's your topic?
I do have a topic. We've discussed this multiple times before, but I was thinking about it because our children are currently obsessed with trolls.
Yeah.
Why does DreamWorks have the best, healthy development of a relationship in the Trolls franchise? I want to talk about the Trolls franchise in general.
Yeah, let's talk about the Trolls franchise. DreamWorks is a funny studio because they are possibly the most inconsistent studio in existence. Because they've released some made-me-cry bangers like How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Uh-huh.
They also released Shark Tale. Which is the movie where Will Fish, he washes whales at the whale wash, and he makes the gay shark feel better about himself.
I'm pretty sure Lenny's technically a metaphor for trans.
I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen the movie.
Because he wants to be a dolphin.
Dude, all I remember is that movie's fucking weird. There was Angelina Jolie fish. And
why do they have to make the fish kind of sexy?
The movie opens with a pimp my or not pimp my ride with a Cribs joke. Martin Scorsese's in it, which is a wild pull. The weirdest thing about that movie is the cast, because it's one of the most stacked casts of all time. Literally, industry titans and popular culture stars at the time were put into Shark Tale. But yeah, let's talk about the Trolls franchise.
Right.
It's your topic. You have the floor.
I know. I'm really bad at leading these conversations, though.
But it's your topic.
I know.
Do you want to just straight up start with the relationship stuff or start with Trolls in general?
You know what? Let's just start with Trolls in general, because Trolls is a really fucking wild ride.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, the first time I watched the first Trolls movie back when it was first put on Netflix in what would you say that was, 2018?
I have no earthly idea. I will find that out for you. Continue.
It was the worst thing I've ever seen in a entertaining way. It's like watching
2016.
Well, that's when it came out.
Oh, good point.
So I'm gonna guess it was on Netflix in 2018 or something like that. Because I watched it a lot on Netflix in 2019 before they took it off. Because the more I watched Trolls, the more I ended up loving it.
Nail on the head. It first aired on Netflix in January 2018.
That's one of my skills is, for some reason I really log on to dates. Maybe that's because I might also probably be a little autistic.
We're trying to figure that out. I just gotta schedule an appointment. And I'm bad at that. So trolls.
Yes. It's weird. It's wacky. It's quirky. It's kind of cute.
I think trolls is one of the few, very few examples of like a good modern, not even modern, just a good pop jukebox musical. Because there's not a lot of good jukebox musicals, and I stand on that.
Yeah, that's also valid.
Because there's a few really good jukebox musicals. None are coming to mind right now, but I think that's just because I'm very tired. More coffee.
It progressively gets trippier per release of franchise, like the holiday specials, and each movie gets a little trippier.
The Trolls universe that they keep fleshing out, you can tell that each movie is written assuming they're not going to make another one. Because they really just make a little bit of a universe and then don't think about it and build it out some more. And then don't think about it and build it out some more.
A couple retcons here and there.
A couple.
Either
a few, like, it's either there's a couple retcons or the rest of the world really does not give a shit about the Troll Kingdom.
Yeah. It's wild. Let's see. One of the main driving points in the first one, just I don't know whose bright idea was it for like the line "Singing killed my grandma." Okay,
it's a banger.
I laughed so hard I had to pause the movie, and I think I laughed for about 10 minutes before I was finally able to continue it.
Do you think they wrote that trying to be funny?
I don't know. Because, like, they're all into it being serious in the movie. Like, it's supposed to be serious.
Yeah, the characters it's interesting. The characters are not treating it as a joke. The movie might be. That's unclear.
But, like, it doesn't, like, the movie doesn't, I don't think it leans more towards it being a joke. But it's hard to tell with DreamWorks, because DreamWorks is a little, quirky.
Well, it's one of those things that, like, it doesn't need to be treated as a joke. Being treated incredibly seriously, like treating a joke of a topic incredibly seriously, is inherently a type of joke.
I don't know. I'm not into comedy.
Well, consider, like, if our toddler stepped on a goldfish cracker, and I completely seriously and completely genuinely sobbed for the loss of that fish. That's still a joke, even if I'm being serious.
You would scar it.
Well, yeah, I would do when he left the room.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's one of those things where, like, even if the movie is treating it seriously, that in and of itself might be a joke because it's the absurdity of it.
I don't know. I guess I don't see that as a joke.
Fair. I guess I have faith. I pray that I have enough faith in the writers at DreamWorks that nobody in the writer's room saw the lines "singing killed my grandma" and thought that that was a serious and touching moment. That was a wild double burp mid Yeah, and then, like we said, like, the world itself either doesn't make sense, they didn't think about it at the time, which is probably the most likely option, or the rest of the world really doesn't communicate with each other.
Right, because we got, in the third movie, we get Betty Spaghetti villains and, like, Muppets?
Technology also swings wildly in every direction.
Yeah.
Because that Betty Spaghetti Society, incredibly advanced, has TV. It's 4:3, but it has TV.
Yeah.
And Bertha, not Bertha. Is her name Bertha?
Rhonda.
Rhonda in Animal
is also a fan?
has a TV built in. So trolls have access to this technology, and the Bergens have like electricity, but the trolls live on like caveman rules. Like their boom boxes are bugs.
Yeah, I don't know. And is it because specifically the pop trolls had to live in the forest away from the Bergens in the first movie because of the first movie?
See, that's probably also more likely, right? Because the techno trolls, obviously, technology.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the country trolls had a electric like neon sign for the burger joint.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. And to be fair, in The Beat Goes On, the extended TV show, our kids really like trolls. In The Beat Goes On, it answers one of our questions we had where, like, in the Trolls movie, none of the pop trolls have a job. So, like, how does anything get done? They literally just party. Who makes the food?
Right. They just eat the bugs.
I guess. Because, like, in the Beat Goes On, we see, like, cafeterias and stuff pop up. And, like, there's hairdressers. So, like, there's jobs. But, like, you go to the country trolls, and literally they're all just working. And it's like, okay, they're singing and dancing while working. So work is getting done. And I guess also the funk trolls obviously have technology. They travel in a UFO.
Yeah. They are traveling in an alien spaceship.
So then the question comes back to, in the first movie, the Bergens move in. They kidnap all of the pop trolls and eat them. None of the other troll kingdoms give a shit.
Well, that's explained in the second movie.
Well, not directly.
They all go their separate ways and avoid each other at all costs.
Okay, fair. I was gonna say, I thought you were implying that, because again, in the Trolls-verse, pop trolls are the British. They were the colonizers. They stole things. They ruined everything. So in Trolls 2, I thought you were implying the explanation was all of the other trolls went, oh, the shitty ones got kidnapped? Fuck yeah. And they just start partying.
No. Like, they literally avoid each other at all costs, no contact. Like, the pop trolls didn't even know other trolls existed.
Yeah. Which, again, is strange when we get to Trolls 3. Because now, Brozone, a troll boy band, was so popular that they are well known amongst the Betty Spaghetti people.
Right?
And, like, I guess, like, the Muppets seem to not really know. Either that or they all just already know.
And they don't really
care by now. Because, like, they're not reacting to any of it. But, like, the Betty Spaghetti people are like, is that Brozone? It's like, so you know trolls exist. And ostensibly, boy band music is pop music. So when all of the pop trolls disappeared for 25, 30 years, no one questioned it?
Yeah, we don't even really know how long the Bergens took over their the original troll tree.
Fair. Right, because we know that it's been about 20 years since they escaped.
Yes.
Because Poppy is a baby when they escape, and she's a queen by the end of the movie. So probably 2030s. She seems to be played like a early 20-year-old. She's supposed to
be like 21.
Yeah.
2021. And Branch would have been like 3? 4?
So then the other question gets raised, right? Brozone. Well, actually, we do know when the troll tree happens, right? Because if Brozone was a global phenomenon, they couldn't have just been at the troll tree. Right? Like, if the Betty Spaghetti people know about Brozone,
well,
they would have had to
know the only Betty Spaghetti people that know them are the ones that captured Floyd in the first place.
Fair. Well, I guess consider this. I know the trolls are happy-go-lucky people. Are they making merchandise and holding concerts at the troll tree that's been captured by the Bergens? I would say probably not. Right?
So does Brozone break up before the Bergens claim the troll tree?
I would think so. Right? Because if not, that means the 4 of them escaped the troll tree when nobody else could.
Right.
Because they
but then
leave.
Clay also ends up with the ones that escaped. like the other half that escaped, because Poppy has a surprise sister in the third movie. And not all of the trolls get to make it out of the troll tree the same way.
I think they meet up after. I don't think he escaped with her.
Yeah, well, like, he meets up with them, with the escaped ones. So, like, did he try to come back as they were leaving, or...
He might have just found them like the others did, like just, oh, hey, look, a mini golf course encounters trolls.
It's weird. They don't explain it. It's very confusing, and I need the small details.
Also, if Clay finds that group of trolls been like, oh, you're the ones who escaped, the others are dead? My brother's Branch is dead? Like, at that point, his thought has to be Branch died. And he doesn't contact the other brothers?
Right.
Well, granted, Jay...
Well, they got separated. They don't know they're dead. They just get separated.
It seems shitty that... And they are shitty brothers, so I guess that's fine. But it does seem shitty that Floyd gets kidnapped and JD starts going and rounding up all the brothers to save him. But Clay learns that Branch is MIA. C'est la vie. Oh well. Good luck. Kind of fucked.
Right?
I'm trying to think if there's any... Because there's a lot of weird aspects of the world. And also, if either the Bergens are supremely stupid people, which might be true, they don't seem very bright. It seems like if Brozone is this global phenomenon, people know that trolls are people. So the Bergens are willingly eating people. Like, it's no longer like, they're trolls. They're like an animal. Who knows? Who cares? They're trolls.
I don't think the trolls or the Bergens know other people exist. They're so remote.
Fair. That's possible.
And we don't even know that Brozone is actually a global phenomenon or just a phenomenon in just the Pop Troll Village, which would have been larger pre-Bergens.
I will say, the whole Bergens eat people thing really gets glossed over. Like, obviously... Gristle, Bridget, like, obviously the newer generation who never got to eat a troll, they're fine. But, like, there's a lot of adults partying. And a lot of those adults had eaten trolls a lot in their life.
At least once a year.
At least once a year.
Probably only once a year.
Yeah. So it's the idea of just, like, because, again, I think Chef gets a rough shot at it. Yes, Chef is the villain. Yes, Chef only wants to feed them trolls so she can stay in power. But the kingdom is real quick to blame everything on Chef as if they weren't all happily eating people.
Right?
Like, it's not like they hid the fact that it was trolls. It was on billboards.
It was literally called Trollstice.
They knew they were eating people.
Right? And they were like, we're going to eat them anyway, because it's the only way that we can be happy. It's really weird universe, really weird plots.
And then, like, literally, and again, it's a kid's movie, so whatever. This part is less important, because, again, kid's movie. But, like, it took 3 sentences to change their minds. And 1 song. And it's not like the trolls weren't singing. We know Branch was singing while they were kidnapped. That's how singing killed his grandma.
Right. It's really weird. Well, because then, I guess because they'd all eaten trolls, they all assumed that's the only way they can be happy. But because Bridget and Gristle are happy together without having eaten trolls, that's that connector that they needed, that Fair. It was possible. And they needed somebody else to explain that.
I don't know how you can eat something that is intelligent and can talk and be happy about that.
Right.
Like, quickest way to make me a vegan forever, give animals perfect speech. Like, the only way I can have the mental disconnect I have now about meat, which I barely do, is the fact that they don't talk.
Yes.
Most of them don't talk.
So why is this wild universe have really good examples of a healthy foundation and building relationship between the two main characters?
20 minutes later, that's what you wanted to talk about.
Well, we're talking about the weird universe and then the characters.
Right.
So, like, why is it that Trolls has like the healthiest example of building and forming this like a quote unquote romantic relationship?
Yeah, by the end of Trolls 3, Branch and Poppy are in incredibly healthy and communicative relationship. And it takes about 3 movies to get there, right? Because the first movie is them finding each other and beginning to be friends and being friends by the end of it. The second movie, beginning of the relationship, but also Poppy learning to listen. Third movie, in a relationship, Branch learning to talk.
Yeah. Cause like it's mentioned before that has always tried, the only one who's ever tried to be his friend.
Yeah.
Even when they were like kids. And it's implied in the first movie with him having a hidden stash of all of her invitations that he does like her.
Mm-hmm.
And
he in the first movie, he doesn't let himself be happy.
Yes. He doesn't know how to.
Because singing killed his grandma.
Sorry. He doesn't know how to. And it's a valid point that, like, sometimes you do need other people to help you be happy. You can't just be happy by yourself all the time.
I don't mean to beverage goblin. Folks, if you see me drinking like 3 different things at once, I love drinking coffee. I need to wash it down with water. I hate coffee in my mouth after the fact.
You're weird. I lost my train of thought.
Oh, sorry. I just realized I took like 3 different sips from 2 beverages back to back to back. I'm like, I should explain what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. And then like what's also a little confusing is they kind of retconned their relationship a bit at the end of the first movie and the beginning of the second movie, because at the end of the first movie when he sings and brings back her colors, the line literally says, "And that's why I love you." And then they hug at the end. So that's like implied that they're romantic. It's implied.
It's implied. I wouldn't say it's a retcon. Because I could totally understand that being a non-romantic love in that moment.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what True Colors is technically about.
Well, right, but Total Eclipse of the Heart isn't about your grandma dying because you sang. Sometimes songs can mean other things.
No, that's the song he was singing when she died.
Yeah, but they continue it after the fact. Once upon a time there was light in his life. Now there's only love in the dark.
Well, they're just bullies.
That is That is also really crazy. To be like, yeah, my grandma, like, abstract it from singing killed my grandma. Yeah, I've got this really horrible memory when I was like 6. I was singing Total Eclipse of the Heart and I attracted a hunter and it killed my grandma in front of me. And then all of your supposed friends circle you and sing Total Eclipse of the Heart at you. That's crazy. That'd be like if I was like, oh yeah, I ran in the street and my mom pushed me out of the way and she got hit by a car. And all my friends went beep, 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 beep right in front of me. Like, that's insane behavior. Actually, it's even worse. Because in Total Eclipse of the Heart, is it there was light in his life or her life in the original song?
That's a good question.
Because I don't think it's originally... Let me double check, because if not, that means they personalized the song at him.
I don't know. A lot of the Trolls songs have been, like, ruined in my brain, and I don't remember the original lyrics.
Yeah, Total Eclipse of the Heart, originally from the Trolls movie. Uh-huh. There was light in my life is the original line. So they personalized the song to him because his grandma died because he sang it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I took it at the end of the movie that they got together.
Totally valid.
Because, like, that's kind of how it was with the implication that he always liked her and she was always trying to be friends with him and just assumed in her mind that they were friends and he just begrudgingly dealt with it.
Granted, it's honestly, you're right, because it's even more... I would say the end of the first movie implies they get together more than the end of the second movie, which is they have a really good high five. Right. But that is them getting together. Because beginning of the third movie, they're boyfriend-girlfriend.
Yeah, because they had... because it ends with, now that's a good connection. But anyway, Then the second movie starts where he's trying to tell her that he likes her and he can't get the words out and she doesn't listen. And the second movie is her not listening to anybody talk, like what people are saying, and learning how to then listen to what people are saying.
And then the third movie is all about don't bottle yourself up, because Branch is holding everything back constantly. And then he finally, like, you know, 3/4 of the way into the movie blows up, because you can't just bottle forever. And it's so refreshing to not have, because they have the third act party breaks up moment that every movie does, and everyone always talks about how annoying it is that every movie does it. But it's so refreshing that not everyone in the movie does that, because Branch has that big blow up moment, he leaves, and then Poppy comes up behind him and he was like, oh, why don't you go hang out with my brothers or whatever, it's something
everybody
like
else leaves
everybody
me.
else leaves me. And then there's a really refreshing moment in the movie where immediately there's no gap, there's no fucking 2 scenes that we know aren't gonna matter anyway, and in that moment grabs his hand and goes, I've been by your side since the beginning, let's give each other a little credit here or something like that. I'm like, yeah, no, that's it's a healthy communication of like, I know you're hurting, it is insulting to me that you think I would leave right now.
Yeah.
Because it's that thing that, like, a lot of...
and then he apologizes.
Yeah, and then he apologizes. Because it's that thing that a lot of, I think, our generation is using to trick ourselves into finding self-validation. And it's that thing of, like, if you said something bad about yourself, be like, hey, don't fucking talk about my friend like that. You know, it's like that thing, like, don't fucking talk about my wife like that. If you would say something like that. It's that, essentially. It's you demeaning yourself is insulting me, because a lot of us instinctively, I would never want to insult you, but if you flip that around onto me, it's like, oh well shit, now I have to talk kindly about myself.
So why does the Trolls franchise have to have a really
of
healthy
all movies
relationship?
Yeah, because then for the rest of the third movie, completely healthy relationship. I really hope there's a fourth movie, only so we can have a movie where for the entire length the main couple isn't in a problem.
Yes.
It'd be really refreshing to just have a healthy, functional couple for the main leads.
Or like again, what the conflict is Branch bottling up his feelings. They have another healthy communication of it to continue to show examples of a healthy, positive relationship.
Because scriptwriters are, I don't want to put on scriptwriters. Companies are terrified to promote movies that don't have will they won't they bullshit in it, because they know will they won't they sells. But because of that, we don't have any fucking healthy relationships in any movie ever.
Yeah, I don't like the will they won't they. I don't like when it's on again, off again. I do like the slow burn, that I think is what they try to go for, but they don't do it right.
Because there's a difference. Yeah.
A slow burn is really good. The off and on again is the issue.
You know what's crazy? There's a show I forgot about until I saw a clip of it recently. It was on Disney XD. You ever see the show Kick Buttowski?
Absolutely not.
So it was about like probably middle school, if I had to guess. Daredevil, who always wore a Daredevil outfit and nobody else did, and some kids made fun of him for it. He was always trying to be awesome. And there was like a preppy girl at the school that was like his enemy. I didn't think about it because I was probably 10 at the time whenever that fucking show was coming out, and I forgot the show existed since then. But people were talking about enemies to lovers, and someone brought up them because by the end of it they're like kind of friendly and like it's like implied that like maybe in high school they'll get together or something like that. I'm like, that's kind you know what,
interesting.
Kind of, yeah. I forgot that show existed, but I was like, yeah, I guess that is another example of that trope in a way.
I'm a sucker for enemies to lovers, folks.
It's why, frankly, there's only one good ship for Dipper in Gravity Falls. And it is Pacifica, frankly.
It's the only age-appropriate ship
fair
in the time frame of Gravity Falls.
Fair. Because I think like one of Mabel's friends has a crush on him, but if it's Mabel's friend, they would be the same age. But I don't remember if they actually had any like chemistry. It's hard to like even ship them as characters because they're also young, so they don't really have chemistry yet.
Yeah.
It's
Because, like, they're done young in the way that, like
like a realistic young.
yeah, where, like, girls have obnoxious big crushes and boys have that, like,
Ew, goodies.
one hyper fixation.
Yeah.
Like, it's done weirdly realistically well.
Yeah. And it's also like you
And
ship.
it's not the focus of the show.
Yeah, and you ship them in a way of like, oh, I can see in like 4 years later when they're in high school they probably start dating. Like that's the thing. It's not like,
Or, like, a 10-year time skip.
yeah, exactly. Like the Hallmark movie of 10 years later they go to visit the Grunkles, and it's like some holiday and they all meet up together or whatever.
Yeah. Hallmark movie.
I mean, yeah. There was I saw a fucking Tumblr post that's probably like 10 years old at this point, but getting shared around as they do. The villain, the like villainous ex in every Hallmark Christmas movie is literally just like, babe, I cannot go to your hometown this Christmas. I need to seal this deal to get us like $1 million and set us up for the rest of our lives. And then the hero guy who the girl goes after is just a farmer who was standing there.
I don't watch those ones. They're not. I hate them.
I like rom-coms. Just a lot of the like Hallmark rom-com is just bad. It's not very good.
Absolutely loathe any rom. I don't mind romance subplots, but I don't like romance main plots.
There's one exception to your rule. Spy Family. Spy Family is a rom-com.
Is it? Well,
No other way about it.
I don't know.
What else would
I don't see the rom aspect between the two main characters yet. It's not there.
The whole point is that they're falling in love with each other without even realizing it.
It's not there enough. It's not strong enough.
Nah. I will say, hey.
I totally ship him, don't get me wrong, because they're very cute.
Whoever's writing that manga, if they're not together by the end of it, I will be in your walls. That would be a crazy decision to make.
Cause like they're pulling that as it's like doing like the major slow burn. So like the main focus really, it's not very rom-com. It's very just slice of life family.
Yeah, I mean, slice of life family. It is primarily slice of life, but it is undeniably a rom-com.
It's a subplot. It's not the main focus.
Yeah, okay. Whatever you say. You like a rom-com.
I don't label it as a rom-com.
Okay.
It's not really romance heavy.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can pin on you for liking a rom-com.
I'm trying to think, because there are like those outliers, and I can't think of a specific rom-com. Because I don't watch them. Because again, a rom-com is romance-focused plot. That's not in Spy Family. It's not romance-focused. It's family-focused.
Fair, but like 2/3 of the family are the rom-com.
It's not there yet.
Right, but Anya is like the inciting incident for them to be a rom.
Yeah, but it's not really... It's not there.
I would argue it is. At least on your side of things. Lloyd's gonna take a while, but like I feel like Yor already has fallen for him.
I think she's too oblivious at the moment.
Fair. No, that's the thing. Like it's definitely there.
It's again subplot, not main plot.
I can't think of any others right now.
I'm literally like racking my brain.
Is Future Diary a rom-com? It's not a com. A rom horror. I don't know what you want to define. A horrible experience to watch, although incredibly well done.
A psychological thriller with a hint of rom.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't even know if I want to call it rom, because it is wild.
It's not really a good rom. I would not label that a good romance.
I will say a good
or a healthy romance for that matter.
A fun one. What genre is Durarara?
You know, I think that's technically like...
Is like mystery a genre?
Mystery is a genre.
Because in a way, it's kind of just...
Mystery action?
In a way, arguably, it is possibly the most emblematic of the genre title, slice of life.
It's definitely slice of life.
Like, it is literally analyzing every workings of the outer life.
It is like mystery action slice of life.
Yeah, I feel that.
One of my favorite series, though. It's got its flaws, but I love it.
Yeah, I can't think of any other rom-coms that you like, because I can start listing off rom-coms I like. I can't think of any, because I wouldn't even argue Trolls would be a rom-com, because, like, yes, they are the main characters, but their relationship is more of a set dressing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Rom-com.
Where the Heart Is.
That is not a rom-com.
I don't know. She's in a relationship for, like, some of it.
That's just a drama.
Dude, I don't remember. All I remember is it's the Walmart movie.
It's absolutely atrocious is what it is. I literally thought I fever dreamed it the first time I saw it on TV because it was just that weird. And then I remembered it years later, made him watch it with me because it was that much of a fever dream.
You know what? All the romance things that you do like that I can think of aren't coms, is what I'm running into. Like,
Yes.
I would argue How's Moving How's Moving Castle a romance.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's not really a comedy. It's like a rom-drom.
It's a fantasy with
romance. Yeah.
Like, I don't mind romance in my plots when the overarching plot is very
Ella Enchanted. That's a rom-com. That's a rom-com, baby.
That's very
That's your Cinderella story ass rom-com right there.
I am a sucker for Cinderella retellings.
Yeah, every another Cinderella story movie is a rom-com.
I wouldn't necessarily pin it com though.
Okay, maybe not all of them, but most of the like
I am a sucker for the
Disney-esque Cinderella retellings are comedies.
I wouldn't label them comedies.
Just because you don't find it funny doesn't mean it's not a comedy.
They're not really comedies.
I don't know, the ones I've seen are. The only one I can think of is the one where she's like a roller skater waitress.
That's the Hilary Duff one.
That one's a comedy.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm going to Google right now. What genre? Do you know the title? Is it just like another Cinderella?
A Cinderella story. Another Cinderella stories with Selena Gomez and their dancers.
A Cinderella Story, 2004, comedy / romance. Let's go! Amanda likes a rom-com.
It's not funny, though. It's not a comedy.
The mother is literally Jennifer Coolidge. How is that not a comedy? Jennifer Coolidge exclusively plays in comedies because she sounds like that. Can you imagine watching like a serious drama? It's like, sweetie. I can't even do her voice. I can't even do that voice. I refuse to believe it's a voice. I want to believe that that's just how she sounds like.
Like Gilbert Godfrey.
Yeah.
May he rest in peace.
Mm-hmm. That was always one of the... I did love the one voice acting mastery podcast I listened to. Someone was talking about like, oh, I don't like how my voice sounds. And she was like, that shouldn't be a deterrent. Gilbert Gottfried, one of the most prolific voice actors out there. Because even if you don't like how it sounds, it fits specific characters. You'll get work.
I can't believe he just sounded like that.
He just sounds like that. I love when I see a voice actor speak normally and I'm like, oh, you're just like that. Like Richard Horvitz, I think. Zim.
Yeah, that is just his voice.
He just kind of sounds like Zim is like exaggerated, but he does kind of just sound like that. He just
sounds like that, yeah. Because he's also Billy and Billy's dad. He just sounds like that. Casey is just on my
chilling.
lap. It's a shame they can't really see him besides his little ear. Hello, little baby.
Proof. Grabbed a paw. Yeah, Trolls has a weirdly healthy romance.
Yes, that is what this topic was supposed to be.
Here's our first intermission. Hand me that beverage. I'm not a huge fan of coconut milk. Don't like coconut water.
Coconut water.
I saw
really nice.
Vita Coco Treats, not sponsored. Strawberries and cream, coconut milk flavored beverage, refreshingly delicious. The point of this, it's supposed to just be like a slightly healthier, very slightly healthier, tasty strawberry beverage. I'm almost certain this is going to taste like dog shit. But I'm like, you know what? Either it tastes good or it's good content. Does it say shake well? I assume.
Here.
It doesn't say shake well.
Let me see.
It is 63% juice, which is impressive. Unless coconut milk counts as juice. And that's a question I'm terrified to ask.
Well, a lot of people refuse to believe like almond milk and oat milk are milk, and they call it like nut juice and oat juice. But it's not really a juice either.
Well, to be fair, coconut milk is a different thing because coconuts do have liquid inside them.
Yeah.
And I assume that's what coconut milk is, yeah?
Probably. Yeah,
or is coconut milk like you blend the flesh with water and sieve?
Yeah, I don't know.
That I don't know. I kind of just assume you crack open a coconut, you get coconut milk. But I could be wrong because there's coconut water, so maybe that's what that is.
Either way.
Coconut water, very nice.
Mix it up with lots of ice.
It smells like Pepto-Bismol.
Oh.
Almost exactly.
I don't think I'll try it. We don't have anything to wash it down.
That just tastes like strawberries. Is there any gamer subs in that?
No.
Damn. That wasn't even meant to be a sponsor, but I guess it is now. Use code RYTOAST for 10% off your gamer subs.
Make me a gamer subs.
Is this good enough to wash it down?
No.
Yeah, it's kind of just strawberry to the point where it's almost like LaCroix adjacent, the fact that I can barely taste it.
It smells awful.
Way more like chemically than it tastes.
Why is this a product of Canada?
That's where the coconuts grow. Dude, I don't know. Kind of just strawberry water.
No, that is not strawberry at all.
It's not great. It doesn't taste like strawberries and cream. I'm not getting the cream.
I'm getting the cream. I'm not getting the strawberry.
Damn, we're getting the cream. Yeah, it's about what I expected. No, not great.
Absolutely disgusting.
More of an old word. Like you would see like the people hold up their ale and be like, "Tonight we imbibe," or whatever.
Never heard of it. Okay. Next wheel. Spin the wheel. Spin the
Reddit story
wheel.
or the last thing we're doing today?
Tier list. Aw.
Am I the asshole? Hey, we did a 3-hour tier list last time, so you can fucking... you're fine, all right? We got to do tier listing.
I like tier listing.
So this is an Am I the Asshole post. This one's crazy. It starts off good, it gets crazy. Am I the asshole for suggesting my teacher host my son's party at her house? Throwaway and fake names, I realize this was probably very petty, but I just want to see if I'm justified or just an asshole and owe an apology. My son, Sam, had his 9th birthday today, but we're having the actual party tomorrow night, which is basically just a sleepover at our apartment with 2 friends. One in his class, and the other in a different one. Same school, though. Before my son even got home from the bus, I got a call from his teacher, Lorna, requesting that the party involve all of the students in the class. She learned about it because it came up as the class wished him a happy birthday. I at first politely refused, saying that it's not reasonable, but she insisted to make sure nobody was left out. I respond by saying that she has no say in who is at my home ever, and that even if she did, my apartment simply cannot accommodate 32 kids and guardians. She says that because other students are involved, she does, and that I should have the party somewhere that can allow all students.
Who is this teacher?
So this is crazy already. It keeps going. I was ready to either hang up or tell her off, but what she said at the end sparked an idea. I tell her, "Okay, what's your address?" And she asks why. I told that since you think you have a say and you want all your students to be a part, we might as well have the party at her house, and request her address again. There's a pause before she says that's not exactly what she meant, and I tell her that no, she wants everyone to attend, so she should be the one to make it work before hanging up. Okay. If it ended here, I think we're in the clear, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a funny way to tell off a crazy teacher. There's 2 more paragraphs to this story. This is where I probably became the asshole. Out of curiosity, I easily found her address. Her social media is not private. And email her, how does this email sound? With an excerpt to the group email chain, saying that Lorna has offered to host Sam's birthday party at her home, and to come after school to X address. I was not planning on actually sending that to anyone else but her. I just wanted to prove the point and felt I was being sarcastic, but I know tone is hard online. She responded to not send it and to do whatever I want for the birthday. She does not care anymore. When I vented to my husband about it, he called me unhinged, but he agreed with my point. I'll admit I have a bit of a habit of going overboard when I feel wronged and probably went nuts, but I can't believe the audacity of this lady. Am I the asshole? Yeah. So the official verdict is everyone sucks. Because like we were saying, teacher, crazy. You don't just email someone their own address. That's crazy.
You know? I'm with the mom on this one.
Nah. It stops being justified when you email someone their own address.
I'm with the mom on this one. If the teacher's gonna be crazy back, and the teacher's being crazy.
All right, so let me go through some comments to see if I can change your mind on this, because that's horrifying that you think sending someone basically a picture of their house is a good thing to do. So everyone sucks here. Stopping the teacher's power play by throwing her logic at her, genius. But then you had to be fucking creepy about it toward the end. Public or not, that was weird, and your email could be interpreted as a thinly veiled "I know where you live" threat. I agree with your SO. Great argument, but you went overboard. Okay, I'll keep going.
If you're gonna threaten me, I'm gonna threaten you right
back.
Threaten?
Look, the teacher was crazy. She did not threaten.
I don't know.
All you have to do is be like, nah, that's crazy, and hang up. That's all you gotta do. Or like she said, be like, okay, if you want to be so involved, it's gonna be at your house. I don't think that's a good idea. Great, it's not a good idea. Stay out of it, and you hang up. Then you don't then email someone saying, I know where you live. Teacher is the asshole for trying to dictate who you are by involving your kid, but who you are paying for. That sentence just doesn't make sense. You can't help that it came up in class, of course. Kids talk about their birthdays. Unless you came in or your kid came in and made a huge to-do about handing out invites to only certain kids, then a teacher shouldn't be involved at all. Even then, she still has no say other than she can request invites be done outside of school or class. But instead of looking her up and seeming a bit creepy, maybe just ask, well, would you like to host and pay for 32 kids then ignore her. Here's the highlighted, most upvoted one. Everyone sucks here. As a teacher, wow, wild. Lorna is part of the broken education system. It's unfortunate your kid has landed in her room, but I hope this was a random one-off and that she's typically a good teacher. However, you quickly went from being deeply justified and right to possibly opening yourself up to legal ramifications, especially with the paper trail evidence you so willingly created. Public school teachers have protections and rights. You may have ventured into territory that can range from banning from all school property and events up to and including restraining orders, PFAs, and charges. Flip the script. In the teachers subreddit, if this was posted from Lorna's POV, there would be hundreds of comments suggesting to forward to an admin, union along with all communications. The old adage hits true here, two wrongs don't make a right, comply then complain. Second you pop off like researching, premeditating her address, doubtful her home address is listed on her Facebook, so you looked it up, you eliminate any real justified complaint you had. It basically ends with just, sooner than later, if you don't want your kid to possibly have to change schools, you should email back and apologize.
No.
Okay.
I'm an unhinged mother.
So you heard it here first, folks. Amanda thinks if anyone is mean to you, find their address and send them a picture of their home. That's what my wife is endorsing. I love you, honey.
I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying I would do it.
You said she's in the right.
I said I agree with her. I didn't say she was right.
What do you mean? No, I can't get behind sending someone a picture of their house. Because that's like, again, she just sent the address, but that's essentially being like, I know where you live. That's, we had an argument and I emailed you an hour later saying I found out where you live. That's criminal behavior.
Well, mother also said teacher posts it very public on her Facebook. Wasn't hard to search it on Google if she just posts pictures of like her house on Facebook.
That doesn't change. Okay, I took one selfie in my front yard. I know where you live. That's still creepy.
Look,
You're not winning me. You're not winning.
I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just saying I'm an unhinged mother.
Yeah, you are.
I'm unhinged.
Honey, I love you. If we ever have an argument with the teacher, dear God, let me handle.
My child's not going to school.
If we have an argument with anybody about, like, towards our child.
Why do you think I make you do all of the phone calls?
Because you're going to dox people? Is that why?
I'm not going to dox them. I'm just going to find out.
You're going to threaten to?
No. I'm just going to find out everything I need to know.
I'm going to cut all. I'm so tempted to cut all of this. So if, like, 10 years down the line, this doesn't play in a court. All right? That's insane. Anyway, next wheel spin. We're an hour in. So I kind of hope it's not tier list. Because if it's tier list, it's going to be another fucking 3-hour episode. Phew! Relationship advice. Reddit post. This is a weird one. My husband, 29 male, knocked out my brother, 28 male, for calling me, 26 female, a whore. And my parents want me to choose. What is the right choice? Sorry for the throwaway account. I have colleagues on my main and I want to keep this as private as possible. As my title basically says, this past weekend, me and my husband were over at my parents' house for a barbecue. The day was going great until my brother, for some reason, started to have a go at me, calling me names and belittling me. My husband pulled my brother aside and had a talk with him, and the insults stopped. An hour or so later, we were standing around talking with some friends and family members, and my brother came up to me and told me I'm a whore. His exact words were, "You know you're a fucking whore, right?" He said it loud enough for almost everyone at the party to hear. All I saw was my husband next to me look at me, then I felt a push to my side, my husband stepping in front of me, and the next thing my brother was out cold on the ground with blood on his face. All I heard is my mother yelling and my husband saying, "You don't talk to my wife like that. I warned you already." Before I continue, my husband didn't hurt me. He didn't push me hard or anything like that. Don't know how to describe it, but it was like a push that someone will give you when they're trying to pass. Like I went back one step is all. I'm not mad at my husband. I'm mad at my brother the whole day. He was demeaning me, insulting me, belittling me. Don't know where this came from, as he has never talked to me like that or to anyone I know of. The bigger problem I have is that I have to choose. Either my husband or my parents. My parents are pissed and have given me an ultimatum. Either I leave my husband and divorce him, or they cut me off completely. My husband doesn't give a crap that they're mad. The only thing he's mad about is that he only got one punch in his words. I love my husband and don't want to lose him, but I also don't want to lose my parents. They've supported me through a lot and have always been there for me. I know they are serious, as this is the first time they have ever issued me with an ultimatum. They also threatened my husband with assault charges, but he doesn't care and welcomed them to it. I'm stuck between a decision that will change my life forever and am panicking. Received message from friends and other family members that have given me support and condemned my husband, but they're leaning more on the support side. Any advice would be appreciated. Edit to clarify. I am choosing my husband. I've never questioned that, but I also don't want to lose my family. I'm very family oriented and family is everything to me. I want to find a solution where I can keep both.
Fuck your family.
So, I'm of two minds. Because, one, I agree, fuck your family. Two, I don't think that was the way that it should have been handled. I think the moment the belittling starts, it's, hey, cut that shit out or we're leaving. I think maybe don't say, hey, if you do it again, I'm going to knock you out.
We don't know how that conversation went.
He literally said, I warned you, after he punched him in the face.
But we still don't know how that conversation went. Because what if he was getting up in the husband's face and threatening him, so he warned him that he would threaten back?
According to her, she said, he looked at me, pushed me a little to the side, just like, like a excuse me, and punched him with no words. I don't know. I think, again, fuck your family. This family sounds terrible. But if it were me, and we're at a family gathering, and, like, your, I guess, sister is belittling you and calling you weird shit, I would be like, hey, don't fucking call my wife that. And if it continues, hey, we're leaving. I'm not going to knock someone out. That's not the appropriate reaction here. I don't know. I'm very violence. I'm very anti-violence in a situation like this.
I'm very for violence.
At a family barbecue? Like,
he deserved it.
Okay, sure. But I don't know. Again, it's a family barbecue. Like, if we're on the street and someone's gonna get in your face, start calling you shit, okay, violence. Violence time. At a family barbecue? I don't know. So there is an update.
We're from Philly. Violence is the answer.
You're from Philly. Violence is your answer. There's an update. Because I will say, some of the comments on the original post bring up a good point. Info, why do your parents think it's okay your brother calls you names? What's their excuse? Someone suggested the story is made up. Because they were saying, yeah, I scrolled a bit, surprised nobody else seemed to think it was off. Brother just lost his shit for no reason. Husband rightfully punches brother. Parents say divorce him based on one shitty incident. There's too many, yeah, I don't know what happened, shit going on here. Is this a fake story? Like, it seems like someone was suggesting, like, is this the full story? Because it is from her perspective. Like, what's actually going on here?
Yeah.
So I like that there's an update. First, I'd like to thank everyone. I want to apologize as well for the way I worded my post. It's no excuse, but emotional state isn't the best. My husband is my choice, and I have no intention of leaving him at all, never had. I know it's early for an update, but I'm more confused now about what is going on. My parents invited me over to have a talk with them, but they wanted me to come alone, as they didn't want my husband at their house. My husband refused to let me go alone and said if he isn't going, then he won't allow me to. He basically said, with you alone, they're just going to pile on you, and I won't let that happen, so we went together.
Valid.
My parents weren't happy to see him, and my mother wanted to say something until my husband told her he isn't there for them, but me, and if he's forced to leave, then I will leave with him. I agreed with him. Reluctantly, they agreed. My brother was there as well. He has a broken nose, chipped teeth, and refused to look at me or my husband, just kept looking at the ground, even while talking. Apparently, what had happened with my brother is that he broke up with his girlfriend a month ago. It's more like she broke up with him. I don't know the reason, don't care. I wasn't aware of this, as we aren't close like that. According to him, the reason he had to go at me this weekend is because my life, according to him, my perfect life with my husband, kept popping up on his feeds and he got jealous. Everything on my social media is with my husband. I don't really use it for anything else, but his feed was full of my posts, and that set him off as I had something he didn't. It got worse when he overheard me and my mother talking when I had a discussion with her over children. Me and my husband are currently trying to have a baby, and that made everything worse in his head. His life was falling apart, and mine was going perfectly. I had what he was trying for and what he wanted with his ex. He said he didn't take my husband seriously when he pulled him aside and my husband warned him. I seriously don't know why he went after me, as nothing he said was true in any sense, and I did ask him why he said those things. He refused to answer me. I asked him why the whore comment, because he knows my husband was my first and everything, and it's only been him all these years. He refused to answer. I asked him if he's having a baby, if trying to have a baby with my husband makes me a whore as it involves sex, and he just left the room. I asked my parents why they didn't step in and tell my brother to leave or stop. My dad said he wanted to, but my mother told him to leave my brother be, as he's not actually hurting anyone. The same with the ultimatum. They wanted to protect my brother. I asked what about me, and they were silent. All my father said was the ultimatum was my mother's idea, and he went along with it. This is basically where we're at the moment. A lot was said, but I don't think it matters. My husband did apologize to my parents for what happened, but refused to apologize to my brother. When my mother asked him to apologize to my brother, he outright said no. He won't apologize for standing up for me, and my brother got what he deserved, and he was warned and didn't listen. My mother said it still doesn't excuse him for hitting my brother. My husband asked my dad what he would do if someone called his wife a whore. My father said I'll have a talk with that person, but will never hit someone. My husband laughed and told my dad he's weak-willed, spineless man if he allows someone to demean his wife like that. That got my mom red in the face, and I could see her get angry. That is when I told my husband it's time to leave. I told my parents I would be going low contact with them, and the ultimatum they gave me broke the trust I had in them. I understand they want to protect my brother, but in doing that, they hurt me. This seemed to take all the anger out of my mother. They asked if I would be cutting them out completely, and I told them that is up to them. I don't want anything to do with my brother at the moment, as he can't even apologize for what he said to me. I told them if they can respect my wishes, we'll see. When we got up to leave, my husband went over to my parents and actually still greeted them politely, but told my dad it's time to grow a backbone. I don't know what I saw, but I think it was shame in my mother's face because my dad looked at my mother and she looked away from him. This is where we're at the moment. My husband's on the way back home, apologized for possibly escalating things, but told me it was time someone told my dad the truth. He said whatever punishment comes he'll take and deal with any fallout. I don't need to worry or stress about anything. Edit. There's another update for the update. Brother's ex cheated on him, and apparently he begged her to fix things, but she chose the other guy, and now he's just pissed and angry at every woman and believe that all will do that eventually. Got a message from my cousin. The family had a go at my parents for allowing my brother to talk me the way he did, and they came clean as to why that he did that, but couldn't do it when I was over when we talked. They couldn't be honest with me and just refused to answer. Once again, fuck this family. This family sucks.
Bye.
Yeah, no, I would cut out this family
isn't
immediately.
A family. This is just like, shot in the dark. This is the vibes I'm getting. This mother is the mother that's like the mommy's boy's mom. Yeah.
Boy mom. Like
that's what this is.
The boy mom, quote unquote.
That is I don't like them. Fuck them. Burn that bridge.
I was worried for a moment, right? Because again, we're getting this from her point of view. And as this post was starting, I was worried that this was an abuse situation. And I don't think it is now that we're done, but only because it was like, okay, again, we only get her perspective. If she is a victim, she's not going to, if you're a victim of an abusive relationship, you're going to excuse your partner. And at the beginning, I was worried because of the phrasing, he won't allow me to go alone. And I know, like you said, valid. Because again, you need backup in that situation.
Yeah.
But the first two things I've learned about her husband is that he punched her family member to the point where he chipped teeth and broke a nose.
Good.
And said, you're not allowed to visit your family alone. Which, like, again, in this context, justifiable, understandable. But I was getting worried. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, red flags were popping off.
Oh, yeah. I see where the red flags would pop off. He didn't set off my red flags only specifically because it was in defense for her from them.
Right. And again, my only thinking was, if I am in an abusive relationship and this is going on, I could see like, oh, well, my partner did that for me. You know what I mean? Like, I was just thinking of like, again, because she is the one writing this, if this was an abusive relationship, how trustworthy is her view of her partner's actions? Yeah. That was the only thing. But like, as it went on, I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem like that. When I saw he won't allow me to go, I was like, that's a weird way to say that. No, yeah, this family sucks.
Because, like, the extended family seems to be more in support of her than them. Which is fine. You don't have to burn the entire family bridge. I would just burn that household bridge. By mom, dad, brother.
Yeah, also, like, the idea of, like, he's not hurting anyone. Is your daughter no one? He's clearly hurting your daughter.
Like, the insults? Like, what?
That's crazy. Yeah, it's not... I can't imagine how that must feel to have, like, a brother insult you all day, call you a fucking whore at a family barbecue in front of your extended family loudly enough that everyone hears it, and then your own mother goes, he wasn't hurting anyone. It's like, okay, I'm no one then. You don't see me as a person.
I would have clocked him in the face myself.
Yeah.
Like, not as the husband, as the sister. Like, as her. Yeah. I would have punched him in the face. Like, especially because, like, the husband went, I'm like, hey, stop talking about my wife like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes the only way you're going to get through an asshole like that is to clock him in the fucking face. And that's valid. That's valid. Keep your husband. Burn that bridge. Break noses for your wife.
I don't like that. I do like... There's a weird bit of, like... It's so complicated, right? With the interaction that happens between the dad and the husband in this. Yeah. Because it's one of those things where the dad is kind of getting off scot-free by saying, it was her idea. I don't know. Yeah. And, like, one, fuck you. You're a unit. It is both of your ideas on how you handle your children. But two, on one hand, I'm like, the husband is right. When the dad is doing that, he's like, he's being, he's not voicing, he's letting, the mom take all the blame by being like, it wasn't my idea, it was her idea. And that's a weak-willed thing to do.
Yeah.
At the same time, and this is where it gets complex because people are complex, what the husband said does smell of that like toxic masculinity. Like it does, it gives the scent of just like, you need to grow a fucking spine, dude. And it was like, that's what it smells like. You know what I mean? It's one of those things of like, right idea feels weird to be said in that way.
Right.
Because like, I think it's a context thing. Any other context, husband telling the father-in-law, yeah, you need to grow a fucking spine, you're weak-willed, that's crazy. But like in this very specific context, it's like, okay, yes, I see where you're coming from. It's one of those things where it's just so complicated.
Yeah, you're non-confrontational, so I can see that.
There's that too, but it's just one of those things of like, it feels typically that kind of thinking is very like alpha bro, red pill, douchebag ideology.
I like to fight, so
Fair.
that's why hockey's my favorite sport. I love when they throw fists. Unhinged.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like the whole situation, not complicated. Your family sucks, low to no contact. And until they can see you as a person, which they don't right now. It's the minutia that gets more complex and interesting as it's looked into. I didn't look at the comments on this one. I wonder if she responded to any interesting things. No, just people mainly agreeing with it. Everyone is agreeing like, yeah, no, your parents don't respect you as a person. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm like, like I said, on the surface, in total, family sucks. Get the hell out of there. There's just some weird... I get weird vibes from the husband. It might just be reading it through a Reddit post.
I would do what husband did. So.
I would fully support partner and leave. I don't think I would jump to violence.
See, but you're not Philly blood.
Okay. So I'm a stable human then, is what you're saying.
Philly is unstable.
Okay, cool. I would not jump to punching my brother-in-law. There are things that would make me punch my brother-in-law. Like you said, if the brother's like getting up in your face about it, like, okay, push, gets up, punch. Got it. But like, I wouldn't initiate the violence at the family setting.
He's initiating it in a way by calling his sister a fucking whore. I'd clock him in the fucking face.
I would match that energy. I would be like, you're a fucking idiot, get the fuck out, and like, we'd leave. I would match that energy. I'd
just knock him out. I shut him up. He's not going to be quiet.
That's when you leave, and then you look like the better person.
No.
All right.
Because he's going to keep talking shit behind the back. That's the problem. He's not going to stop.
Okay, that's when you don't fucking talk to that family anymore. Clearly, the extended family...
See, but then in that instance, you'd be cutting bridges with the entire extended family by walking away. Because now you don't know all that perspective.
I think it's less of a walking away thing. I don't know. I see punching as an escalation. Where I want to maintain or back off.
Nah. I'm unhinged.
Clearly. So what we've learned today, folks, the summary of today is, in my opinion, when things go wrong, you shouldn't threaten people by telling them you know where they live. And you shouldn't punch people in the face. But my lovely life partner, whenever there's a conflict and whenever something goes wrong, simply email them their home address and punch them in the face. You've heard it here first on the Etc. podcast, where we have Reddit stories, tier lists, opinions, etc. Thank you and good night.
I didn't say email them. I just what do you mean? I just agreed with the unhinged
Why was that the one problem you had with what I said? You can text them their address. You don't have to email them.
No, I would look into the information. I would not actually email
Emailing them. Is so outdated. Just call them. In fact...
Now you're putting words in.
The only thing you said was I didn't say email them.
I didn't say I would email them.
Okay, so you'd call them? Like,
no, I would just get the information.
but like the sending of the address is what I mean.
I never said I would send the address either.
Okay, that's better. Because this is what I heard. Amanda said to stab her and kill her. I didn't say stab her. And then period. It's like, there was more to that sentence. Like,
no, I'm just also unhinged. I would get the information so I can protect my child.
you're right. You would not email someone their address. You like arts and crafts too much. So you would probably do a fun activity where you took a magazine and cut out letters and then glued the address on a letter and mailed it to them.
See, I would only do that for friends. The teacher's not my friend.
No. You would punch friends in the face for calling me a whore.
No, that's family.
Right, sorry. You punch family in the face for calling me a whore.
Yes.
You mail addresses to friends. See you next time.
I mail serial killer letters to friends.